Hey guys, it's Johnny here from JTK Gaming, and today I want to cover some beginner tips and stuff that you should really know as you start playing this game. There's a lot of things that the game doesn't teach you that you really should know and it's going to make your life a lot easier. We're not going to cover them all. We might do a second video covering some things that we miss in this one, but let's get into it. So, in my opinion, the first thing you should do is try and join some guilds. You can be in 5 guilds, so you can go through quite a few and find good ones. There's a lot of people willing to help in this game, so that's one of your best resources and is going to help you a lot. Just hanging around in towns, you're probably going to see a lot of guild advertisements in zone chat, so just hit them up, join. You can always leave if they're not for you, and that's basically what I do. I cycle through until I find good guilds, and then you stay in them. So, second to that is crafting. Now, crafting can be quite important, especially early on in the game, and it takes a lot of time. So, it's best to start straight away and get things happening. So, what you want to do is uh, when you're collecting just trash gear, a lot of them are going to have traits on them. So when you come to a crafting station, you look over here and you go to the research tab, and basically you have all your traits here. And you right click on them and bring up the research tab, and it's going to have all the pieces of gear here. Obviously, you don't want to use gear pieces that you want to use and keep, because this does destroy the item. So once you have picked the piece of item you want to research, you just click on research. Now you can research one item at the start, but you do have crafting passives. So once you level up your crafting, you will be able to craft up to research up to 3 items at once. And it is really quick. It takes a few hours for the first couple, but after that, you're looking at a month for the last couple. So it can take quite long. This is character based too, so it's not account based. That's something else to keep in mind. It's best to do it on one character. Not saying you can't do it on multiple, but at least make sure your main craft is the one that you're researching all the time. And as you can see, 21 hours there. Now, as you learn, so see on this piece here, I have reinforced and divines learnt. So this is the third trait. And the way the crafting system works is a crafted set will be a specific amount of traits. So it might be a 5 trait set. So if it's a 5 trait set, you need a maximum of 5 traits a minimal of 5 traits to craft that piece of gear. And you have to do it for each individual piece. Yeah, it is pretty overwhelming when you first start. But get that going and happening, and you'll get there. In the meantime, you might have to rely on other people in your guilds and stuff. So something else is really important to start when you start is get training gear. Training gear is really important. It gives you about 80% extra, 80 to 90% extra XP, and it is really important. Do I have a piece on here? Here we go. So, piece of training gear, as you can see, increased experience gained from kills by 10%. So, you add that up, you're looking at 90, even 100% if you're running a shield. So, that's something to get your hands on. It's pretty easy. Most people are pretty easy with that stuff if you just ask around. Just don't be those needy people that want training gear every couple levels. Your gear should be good for 5 to 10 levels, and just make sure you repair the gear, because if it is broken, you don't get that 10%. Some little things like this is kind of really important. I didn't really realize this until quite late on in the game. But say you want to level your medium armor, but you don't want to wear medium armor, or you want to increase your medium armor leveling speed. You can here and chuck evasion on your bar. So that's going to level that skill, but it's also going to level your medium armor level skill tree. This here. So this works for heavy light, so you can chuck a movable on your bar and level heavy without having to wear heavy, or the more pieces of heavy armor and the more skills you have, the faster it levels and increases. This also works for your weapons, so you can run, say, a two-handed skill on your bar to level up your two-hander line without actually using it. So that leads into another really good point. It's something to keep your eyes on is, say your two-hander gets to level 50, you want to put something else in there to level it up, and just make sure XP gain goes somewhere instead of just going into an empty bottomless pit. And this works for skills as well. Once you see a skill that's fully leveled up, swap it out for another one. Because you may think that you're not going to use something, but later on in the game, you may find yourself wanting to use it, and it's a lot easier if it's already leveled and you don't have to go back and spend all that time leveling it up. That being said, another thing that's kind of missed and not used, I had a friend that's reasonably new to the game, and I asked him about it, and he's like, no, it's Munderstones. A lot of new players don't get Munderstones. It's a free buff for nothing. So there is like increased stamina, increased magic, increased spell damage, increased magic recovery. There's basically a Munderstone for whatever you want, and you can have one Munderstone active, and you can basically swap that Munderstone at any time you want. You just have to travel to a Munderstone. The easiest thing to do is just Google the Munderstone you're looking for, and you'll find a map, and everything will be sweet. So as you can see here, I've just gone to the closest Munderstone. This is what they look like. They're scattered around the place, and this is the mage. Increases your max magic. I don't want to do that. Obviously, I'm a stam warden. But, and that being said, new players don't use food. Well, I'm not saying, when I say this stuff, guys, I'm not implying it to everyone, but just the majority of new players that I see don't do these things. They don't use food, and they don't use potions, and they don't use synergies. So between those things, you're not using the stuff that the game's providing you, and you'll become so much stronger. Your regen will be so much better. You're gonna have more max stats because of your food. I run a lot of builds that I don't run out of magic, but if I wasn't popping that potion, I would be running out of magic. Synergies are really important too. These are all kind of free things that you can use to, make your character more stronger. There is foods out there that are leveled, like say level 20 or whatever, but there's also food out there that is not leveled. So basically, like this stuff here, it is level 1, I think they class it as, and you can basically use it all the way through. So from level 3 to CP 160, this food will work, and it scales with you. So the higher level you get, the better the food gets. And then you've got potions. You're not going to be using fancy potions at the start. Just the trash ones you pick up, just the basic magic stamina pots that you pick up, will work just fine. And let me just check my notes here and see what we have missed, what we are. This is my first video in a while, guys, so cut me a bit of slack. There's not going to be too much editing or anything like this. It's just going to be me talking. So yeah. Okay, so something else that I get asked quite regularly is ESO plus worth it? Now, in my opinion, it's a pretty simple answer, and that is yes. And what I would recommend to new players is getting it for a month, and just, if you want to play a game, you might as well see the game in its best light. And it is a lot better game. Look at that. Never get phone calls, and hello. I'm actually recording a video right now. I'll call you back in a minute. Sorry, guys. I'm using my phone as a webcam. That's why that just happened. Anyway, let's get back to it. ESO Plus, is it worth it? Yes. Um, the craft bag itself is worth it for me. I know that a lot of the things that ESO Plus offers isn't as beneficial to new players because you don't have a lot of stuff, but you don't need to play the game for very long until you realize your character and your bank and everything is chockers. And the craft bag is amazing. Basically, any crafting materials in the game goes into a craft bag. It's accessible by any character and it is unlimited. And also you get things like double bank space that is just amazing. And 10%'s not that much extra XP, but from the beginning all the way up to CP 160, 10% is quite a bit, and it's going to save you hours of leveling. um so give it a try. If it's not for you and you're only playing the game really casually, then that's fine. But if you're playing this game for at least a couple hours a day, I would highly recommend it. It's 50 cents a day, and I really should be getting paid by Zos. Come on, it's free advertisement, Zos. Where's my my paycheck? But anyway, that I wanted to cover that. I think maybe last off for this video. I don't want to be too long. I know there's a lot of other stuff, and I couldn't fit everything into one video, so there more than likely will be a second one. If you let me know in the comment section if you'd like to see a new one. Also, things that I may have missed that you guys would recommend. Help the community out, help people out, give them your input because there's many things that I have missed. But before I end this video, I want to talk about add-ons. Now, I talked about ESO Plus changing the game. Add-ons make this a completely different game. If I had to play this game, I don't know if I could play this game without add-ons. It's just, there's just so much stuff that Zos is too lazy to put into the game, so they just allow other people to do it. Now, as you can see, my setup might look quite different to you. Yours, I have FTC running my health bar, and I have Azura and Illumina something other add-on that makes me be able to do this, so I can just put my skills wherever I want them. And I run AUI is my map, so I run a lot of add-ons and I only use parts of those add-ons. I actually have a dedicated add-ons video, which is quite old now, but just about every add-on in that video is still quite good to this day. And that's just touching the surface. There is like, there's just, here's just an idea of like how many add-ons that I have on my computer. I don't use them all the time. But MM is really, really good, but that only works if you're in a trading guild. It will show you the average sales and stuff like that. Um, Lore books will show you your lore books on your map. So here you can see the locations of your lore books and also sky shards. There's another one that does sky shards. Uh, okay, so inventory insight is amazing. It will let you search your account. So you can be looking for a specific piece of gear. Let me see if I can bring it up. So you could be wanting to look for... You're not going to let me move. Yeah, you're going to be difficult. But anyway, this is the add-on and it allows you to search your whole account. Guild banks as well. So if you're looking for a specific piece of gear or anything, you can just type it in here. Let's say Lynch. Okay, I have all this Lynch gear. It's going to show me here on the side that it is on Steve Jabs, and you can log on to that account. Back in the day, you used to have to go through all your characters looking for a piece of gear, but now you can just do it with that add-on. It is pretty damn amazing. I think I should do an updated video. Also, another one is Lazy Writ. This is going to do your daily writs for you. It makes life so much easier. Bloody screen's another one of my favorites. When you can set, say, under 30%, your screen starts getting spludges of blood on there. It just kind of gives you a more immersive feeling, and it allows me to know straight away that I may be in trouble, and to do something about it. Chat to clipboard is pretty obvious, lets you copy things out of the chat. And action duration reminder is also one of my favorite add-ons. So basically what that does is you can see on the skill bar there, it's counting down how long my shield is. It basically turns my skill bar into a buff and time tracker, which is really amazing. It makes for a really clean UI, and you don't have all this stuff cluttering it up. But you know, that's up to you. There is basically an add-on for anything. So download Minion, and then you can just search for your add-ons through Minion and install them that way. Very easy, very simple. So let me just go and double check my notes again and make sure I haven't missed anything extremely important. Okay, so something I did miss is questing. I get asked a fair bit about questing, and you know, should I be doing quests, or should I, be grinding or whatever. In my opinion, I would I would grind to CP 160 or at least 50 or something, because when you're low level, you don't have skills, gear, all that kind of stuff. So your character's not playing the way that it's going to be played at endgame anyway. So you're not really learning anything. And that's what I see a lot of people say, oh, don't grind, you won't learn to play the game. I find it better, and I've seen it work more for new players. You know, you get to endgame, then you can go do the storyline and the quest line if you want to, because you do get skill points for doing the quest lines, which are very handy. And they scale to you, so you can go do them once you max out anyway. And you're going to be playing a character that somewhat resembles an endgame character, so therefore you're learning to play something that you're actually going to use. Um, I hope I kind of explained that good enough, but that's my opinion. Other people, if you love grinding, this game it's got some good storylines. So, you know, if you enjoy that kind of stuff, go ahead, do it. If you love to be max level as soon as you can, go grind your heart out. I do have a video with some grind spots on it if you want to find some of those. But I think that's going to wrap it up, guys. As I said, I haven't made a video for a long time. I've kind of just been lacking motivation, I guess, in general to do it. But this is going to be pretty much not edited. So excuse the roughness and all that kind of stuff. But as I said, in the comments, leave any comments of anything I missed, and you know, help the community out, because you know, Zos has a really good community, and we want to keep that going, and we want to keep, you know, new players coming to the game, because if we don't keep new players coming and enjoying the game dies, and then we're fucked, you know. So let's do it. And anyway, I'm going to go have some dinner, I guess, and call my mother back, seeing that she interrupted my video. Anyway, guys, it's Johnny from JTK Gaming, and I will catch you later.